Hey fam, welcome back to another episode of I'm Telling You. As always, your host, Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Yeah, we're here to talk your ears off, right? That's what you say.
Talk your ears off.
Yeah, if you want to talk our ears off with the old clickety clack thing, go ahead and hit us up with the email at I'm telling you at directionsandmusic.org. That's IMTELLINYOU at directionsmusic.org. Yeah, I got you.
INYOU.
Yeah, YNYOU. MOUS. Yeah, no, the robot. But yeah, no, hit us up, send us an email, chat with us, or get us in the descriptions or comments or just communicate with us. We would love that.
Or curse us out in movie quotes.
Yeah, I mean
that's what I want.
Look us up on all of our platforms. Just find a way to talk. We want to be able to communicate. I mean, if it was like the 70s revival show, sure, why not? Put some goldfish in there too. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that man's got goldfish in his shoes. But yeah, so if you're a first-time listener, this is I'm Telling You. We do, it's a 30-year friendship of just chopping it up, talking our ears off. We get into everything. I mean, from quantum physics to movie quotes to quoting ourselves and just random thoughts or whatever.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, we take it to Monty Python. We don't care. We're here to hopefully entertain, but at the same time, maybe we can all have a nice conversation and grow from it.
It's really just for us. I mean, really, it's all about me.
And I mean, on a certain level, that's definitely a thing. Because we say it ourselves, we don't give a crap if no one else is listening. We would still be having these conversations. We just feel that us doing this would hopefully promote others wanting to have other conversations of that same nature. Maybe not the same topic, but in a very accepting and appreciative manner. And so that's, That seems to be what we've come to is instead of us just being a bunch of jackasses cracking jokes like dads do, recording ourselves and actually having these deep conversations in hopes that it stimulates others to do the same. So
I like it better when it just kind of it flows and does its own thing, and you just kind of let it go. I mean, we just had a very productive green room right before this, so.
If
it just kind of flowed and did its own thing.
Yeah, we do, for those of you who don't know, we do green room, which is the background stuff, because that's like if you go to the live venue and then, you have like where all the VIPs and like their entourage, that, the spot where everybody gets to hang out is the green room, and that's where we warm up and, we kind of go through like equipment checks and stuff like that. And then we actually, break and then get into doing this recording.
Correct.
Yeah, so we always have like tons of other content, and that's why we say we're gonna have these conversations regardless. We just turn mics on and let it happen though.
We want to pull you all into it though.
Hopefully, because
have a conversation.
Yeah, because then you'll have one with somebody else as well. That's really what we want. We want everyone to start talking more.
Yeah, get some ish off your chest, or maybe tell a joke, have fun, tell a story. I know that's what hooks me is a good story. Nothing like a good story, right? Somebody who can spin a yarn.
Spin a yarn. I always like that. Yeah. Well, and I think and this is Dr. Eric Thomas. I quote him a lot because he's a really dope dude. One of his things that he's always talking about is understanding what the power of words are. And so if you look back at our history that we know, there's quite a few orators in just the recent century or, century and a half that are just phenomenal at using their words and being not just intelligent, but articulate and very eloquent. And by using the correct words and cadence, having that tempo or inflection, just all those nuances to what and how they're saying it can be very influential, good and bad.
Are you speaking about somebody or something in particular, or?
Well, like good or bad? Well, yeah.
Generalizing.
So you have like Mandela, excellent speaker, Churchill. These are people that could, basically unite entire countries. That's pretty powerful. But
there was something to be said about the cadence and the calmness, something that equates out of that voice that just it kind of in a way sets your mind at ease. That some of these people that, like you said, orators, right? That are capable of painting the word picture, like you like to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so JFK, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. These are
Right.
people that are very powerful with the words, but then you also get to the extreme of like Hitler. Yay, that's great. But that's the thing is words are very powerful.
They certainly are.
And so the thing with us, I believe the most is because of the fact that we only do this as an audio. You only hear the words. You have to get that tone, that inflection, that cadence. We have to be very specific with what we're doing and what we're saying. So while we try to be like light and have levity, there's still intention behind what we're doing.
Interesting thing I heard before, it just reminded me. But yeah, when you're putting together a word, you put it together with letters. And when you do that, you're spelling. So it's like you're casting a spell. So there is something magical about the power of words. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like in Spanish.
You're peeking at me through the...
I like Spanish due to their word for conjugating or to modify or play with words is conjugar.
to play.
Con is with and jugar is to play
with.
So
right.
conjugar is to play with. So that's what you're doing is you're playing with the word. So
Right.
yeah, I like that too. But yeah, spelling's pretty dope. I mean, that's because that goes back to the olden days when you were spelling, you were just talking.
Okay, you're casting a spell. I mean, you're spelling when you're putting words together. I mean, I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. It's my silly little mnemonic, Not that that's a mnemonic, I guess, but
Well, I think that has something to do with olden day ideas of what was a witch. As they were casting spells, as they were spelling, because they were putting certain words together or phrases.
well, it's a good point because you're talking about an era where, as a woman, maybe you weren't allowed to know how to read and write, and that could be considered faux pas to do so.
Oh, big time! Yeah, that happens all the time.
So,
I'm pretty sure about that.
I'm not saying that was right, absolutely not, but
we just had this conversation about what is right and what isn't right in situations like that. And I made the point of if the things that happened had caused the positive outcome for all at the greater end, then what those actions weren't they right?
which actions are we talking about?
What negative actions that
Like
would
the casting out of witches?
Well, right. So stuff that would, definitely would be deemed as like, well, no, as you were just saying, the fact that we would treat people in that fashion, that in and of itself, that's like, wow, that's ignorant. And it's like, well, if them doing that caused us to get to the place that we're at now, then weren't those good actions?
It depends on how you view it. So,
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about the conversation we were just having a little while ago about that.
the interesting thing is historically, if you look at a lot of those occurrences, especially during like the Salem witch trials and stuff like that, what you had in most cases were people that practice an early form of Christianity, basically. So they were being hounded for the way that they believed. Their belief system was different than the norm.
Wasn't it Protestant? Wasn't it Protestant?
It may have been something as simple as that. So
I'm just saying because you're talking about, as we were coming over to the country.
mostly in the early Americans, it was Protestant.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And so I was like, I don't think it was early Christianity.
But no, I think it was
So it was an early form of religion.
yeah, but I mean, it was an early, I would consider it a branch of Christianity because of the way that Christianity made its way over into this country. And then,
Well, I don't think
there
that
was
has
a Druid aspect to it. And there was,
Which I don't think is the importance of what you're trying to say. But
No, but basically what I'm saying is that most of the people that were put to the wheel or put to death or tortured to death or whatever it is during the Salem witch trials were actually peaceful people.
yeah,
They just had a different belief system than everyone else.
which I think is hilarious.
And that the system is not wrong. It's as long as the belief and the actions and the sentiment is, I don't know. That's the way I've always believed. But
Well, yeah, and I think that's the irony of all that is because getting away from the other country to get away from the prosecution and what are they doing? They're basically profiling and just making so they're doing the same thing that they were just differently, but same thing.
well, but you're talking about tying your escape to a still like an us and them mentality. So you're still kind of caught. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you can find negative in the positive and positive in the negative all throughout history. But it's just it's interesting to see, like, if you really read into a lot of what happened during the Salem witch trials, most of the people that were put to death or tortured or whatever, that they weren't like evil people. They just had a slightly different belief system than everyone else. So
yeah, I think wasn't that like paganism or something was coming out of that, or that's what they deemed like the witchcraft.
But what is that? Anything anything that you believe that I don't agree with, I could just label that pagan.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the point, though. So, that's why I'm like, the irony of it is, here we are moving away from being prosecuted, and what do? We just turn on our own people and start, and it's like, dude, come on, man. Have a heart, bro. Learn your lesson. Here we are just,
you know what? Take a moment, look within.
Yeah, we're just perpetuating the cycle as a people. And
couldn't we just avoid all this? Like, really? Why can't we all just get along, man?
Right, and that's I think what you and I on our greater point is to do that is we do want to be able to all get along because we know we can. So I personally attempt to always just focus on the things that we are doing right as opposed to focusing on what we're not doing or what we're not doing right.
Well, instead of putting so much focus on what makes us different as individuals, focus on what makes us the same as human beings that have to share a planet with each other, Yeah,
that's why I always do the thing that, like, we're family. That's why whenever we introduce the show, we always say, welcome back, fam. Good crack it. Do it. Yeah, that's how you know it's us.
With authority.
Yeah, I'm not... authority. I already had a beer earlier, so I'm not... we've talked about that where I've been shifting a few things in my routine, and now all of a sudden it seems to be, it's extending itself into other aspects of my life. One of which is I'm eating better.
I'm having a rough night, so I'm having my second beer.
Well, but you also didn't ride, so you're being somewhat responsible. Because normally if you drink that, you wouldn't be riding your bike. But
yeah, and like I told you, I wasn't really in a fit state to ride when I left the house. So.
Oh yeah, you were emotional this evening. We talked about it, and things are good.
Yeah, we went to work through some stuff. So, but yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, of course. That's which I think comes from the conversation that we were saying, where I was saying the whole is like, if that action, even though it seems to be a negative, promotes the actual outcome because it's that catalyst or whatever that piece is, that now all of a sudden we do have that good and all that betterment and, that what we really wanted to get out of it in the end. So it's like, didn't because you got to have the yin to the yang. If you don't have that antagonist, you're not going to get something to promote you to move forward.
Well, yeah, I mean,
to move into a direction anyway.
To continue the motion at all, yeah, you have to take that mindset that anything that could be viewed as a setback could also be viewed as an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that a lot of the motivational speakers kind of point at all the time is the fact that it's like, hey, if you're going to sit here and focus on all the negatives, then that's pretty much all you're going to get because that's apparently what you want to see. And psychology can say that as well, because then you're projecting as well as with like law of attraction. So it's like you just keep telling your brain to give you more of this. So there's multiple ways to think of it in that fashion. So always at this point, after reading the 4 agreements and stuff, I try to just focus on the things that I do want and the things that I feel I am doing right or that feel right, so that, I just keep doing more of that. Eye on the prize,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about focus.
Or what's that chemical that you want? The love chemical. What's that one called?
The hormone?
Yeah, the hormone. Oh, I can't remember.
Well, epitocin. Oh God, what is it? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, and that's one way that developmental behavioral psychology would speak about it, because that's your brain's natural balance that causes you to, want or not want something, which goes back to the idea of like seeing certain fruit being pickable. It makes you more excited as you get closer to it, so that when you actually get it, it's that like reward system. So psychology would break it down into that kind of a fashion.
Are you saying how color affects you emotionally? Is that what you're saying?
All of it.
Yeah.
Well, but also
the experience as a whole. Yeah, but
it's also
the reason why rosy fruit looks more appetizing.
As you were just saying, that the love chemical, that hormone, that thing that triggers in our brain, I forget what it is, but it's
oxytocin.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that it?
Oxytocin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's something like that. It's close enough. Yeah, 220, 221.
I'm not a scientist, you know?
I'm not a rocket surgeon, you know. and I I think in when you're again with the whole food thing, you're getting smaller, small doses, but larger, so that when you get there, it's that reward part. So it causes you to want to go to eat because your body wants to survive. So it's telling you that you're hungry, or it makes you excited about it, so it wants to go do it so that it can feed itself. Yeah, I mean so that's why I'm like, yeah, I can see that or understand it from that capacity because that's how psychology would dictate it.
Right.
So, but me, if I'm aware of this, then it's even better to go ahead and use that system. And that's why I'm like, I just focus on the things that I do like, the things that I feel I do well or do right. Yeah, I said do. And that's having that as my triggers, having that as my reward system, making me happier, which means I'm also listening to my body and taking better care of it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important to do that, man.
Oxytocin. I don't know if that's right or not, but
yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, that's
oxytocin.
It's close. It's close. If not correct, I don't know. That's why we need a fact checker. I'm going to point to the non-fact checker. He's slacking on his job. Yeah. I mean, we can look it up, but I don't think it's that important right now. If people are judging us on our ability to speak correctly, or
I was over there just now.
I was over there in the corner. I felt really judgy for judging you, so I know it's none of
that. We're not doing that.
This is a judgment-free zone. This is like all love, tree of trust. It's a safe space.
Right.
Whether it's emotions or incorrect phonetic statements, all love here.
I was watching Superbad the other day.
Oh, did you do it?
Yeah, I didn't mention to you that I just put that on, and I was just thinking about that. While I was watching it, it was really funny because I was for whatever reason, because I think I was just listening to one of our conversations and reviewing it, and the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking 4 agreements, and I'm thinking, man, if this guy was following agreement number 1, talking about Seth, right? So the whole story is that these two best friends are like inseparable. And now it's time, right? In Superbad, and now it's time that they're going off to college, and Seth doesn't make it to Dartmouth, so like there's this whole issue between the two of them,
like separation anxiety about to happen.
Yeah,
but only on like the part of the one,
and like this whole series of events that occurs leading up to like this big graduation party at the end of the year, where the whole thing falls apart basically because Seth hasn't learned how to be honest with himself in the situation, and he's been projecting all of his issues on everyone else. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so 4 agreements right here. And I'm like, it was funny because at the end, if you and I'm looking at it through that lens, right? So at the end of the movie, I thought it was really interesting because, they have this whole like bromance moment at the end where it's like, man, I love you, man. And it was like this whole I love you thing back and forth and the big hug and all that. And it was like, I started to realize, I was like, that was the point at which he started being honest with himself and with everyone else. And suddenly things fell back into alignment. And I was like, awesome.
Right.
That's awesome. Because if you think about it, like every time something happened, like he was blaming everyone else, right? It was everyone else's fault.
Right.
And all he wanted to do, he was like so laser focused on his only job was to get alcohol, come hell or high water. He had to get alcohol for the party. That was the only thing he could think about.
Well, and it wasn't just that he had to get the alcohol, it was the end result of what getting the alcohol he thought was the outcome, which was being able to get with or at least be close enough to the hot chick that he was
Which, as it turns out, he didn't need any of that.
Yep.
They could have showed up with nothing in their hands and they still would have had an awesome time.
Which to me is just, believe in yourself.
So it was funny. I just wanted to bring that to the conversation tonight. I thought that was really interesting that I was reviewing Superbad through the lens of mostly the first agreement. But I guess you could throw 2 and 3 in there probably too, or maybe even 4 if you want to wrap it all up. But
I think you can apply to a lot of stuff.
My main focus was number one. There was be honest, right? Be
impeccable with yourself.
Be impeccable with
your words.
With your words, or with your word, whatever it is. But for whatever reason, I was looking at it the whole movie through that lens, and it was really interesting because it was like when things all finally came right again at the end of the movie, it was mainly because he decided to change his perspective.
So do you know that when you take psychology classes that you can actually do this, where you can deconstruct a scene and or movie and give evidence to support, which is basically what you just did in a sense? Just saying, you could do really well with college, bro. You might want to do that. Take a class or two.
Looks like fun. I'm doing it without any help, apparently, because I was just.
And this is what goes to. I always say that I think you're not only just highly intelligent, but there's many capacities I feel you're more intelligent than I am. I always say you're more well read than I am. You've been at it longer than I have in that fashion. So to me, I think you're not only very intelligent, but I would like to see you do some of that stuff just so that you could see for yourself. You're like, holy crap, dude, I could do this. And whether you finish it or not, but at least try it.
Would do what specifically? What?
College.
Oh, do college?
Yeah, just because we've talked about that before. Because
I can't say I'm a college graduate.
Well, you coming from what you did was basically right out of school went right to work. You didn't go to college like most other people did. Yeah, you just went straight to making your paycheck. And there's everything right with that. I mean, that's definitely one way to do it. It's brought you to this place, and I think you like where you're at, so you can't regret that choice, right?
No, I can't regret anything that's happened before, because then that would deny me all kinds of riches that I've earned, right, along the way. So the relationships I've made, the family I've built, I mean, these are all beautiful things.
Correct.
And had any one of these things fallen out of place, and like I was saying just earlier tonight to you, that, had some of the life... almost life-ending circumstances that I've been in, I wouldn't take back either.
Your concussion situations?
Yeah, my brain injury situations, my AVM. Yeah,
Which I think explains why you hang out with me, but hey, that's another story.
I'm just a Pandora's box full of issues, aren't I?
Well, and so to go back to what I was saying is, you coming out of that, because you're no longer that corporate person, you don't work there anymore, and you're trying to do these other things, and you even for a while was like, I never did do that college thing, maybe I should try it. And I was like, you should, just even if you take a couple classes. That's why I made that comparison right now. It's like, you just taking what you said and putting it into written word or typed.
That's a paper right there. Yeah, that's my thesis.
Well, but I wouldn't. No, it's not a thesis. No, it's not a thesis. It is, a reaction paper or a small assignment of where that's what the work is. It's thinking the way you do, but then physically verbalizing it. Whether it's in written word or audible word, but you're still putting it into words. That's all it is, bro. I think you get a kick out of it. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway, still, at some point, we have to actually break out the stopwatch and do a movie up proper and figure out this minute system that we're setting up here.
How did we get to that?
I just did. Yeah, I've been thinking about it, man. We got to do this.
So you're all about this.
I think we should try it with one movie and just see where it goes. Just the tip, just to see how it feels.
I'm telling you, it's going to take a few more than that. That's why I said we use. I think we were in the green room. I don't know. We were talking about it, and I was like,
it's John Hughes.
Hughes Productions, right?
With anything within that Hughes Films category, whether it's
because that's like 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, but it's also Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Home Alone, Uncle Buck, Planes, Trains, Automobiles. So it's a very wide spectrum. And that's why I was like, because there's plenty of movies within that production that are going to be mad quotable, and then other ones that aren't. The average of those, I think, is a great number to start with. So yeah, it's going to take more than just, a few.
There's a couple at the top of that list of our favorites that I'd be really curious about finding the actual numbers for our current idea of what this system is. But
Weird Science, it's got to be up there high. Dude, Goonies is probably.
But I wonder how much stuff you'd cut out. Like how much stuff is in between all these quotable moments.
Well,
it just makes me really question, what would the final number actually look like? Would it be more like 15 or 20? Like, what's the mark to beat?
Not only that, but I like watching the movie in that fashion as the Cliff Notes being quote to quote to quote in chronological order from start to finish.
Oh, actually do the crunch yourself. So you're taking everything out that's not quotable moment, and it literally just jumps from one to the next.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you could watch the movie in 20 minutes.
It'd be like the Cliff Notes, but, you know, movie form.
You get every great quotable moment all back to back to back to back.
It'd be the I'm telling you notes. That's what we would call it. There you go. Copyright, bing. Yeah, I don't know how you segue to that. Actually, I know you didn't segue to that, but hey, that's cool.
I didn't.
No, you just dropped right in, dude.
I don't know. Just because I've been thinking about it lately.
Yeah, that was foot on the door.
Like we got to somehow work that in. We got to next time we get together.
Warrant.
But next time, because the very next time we have to do, what's the movie we have to do?
Oh, our next bro day? Yeah, you wanted to do Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. Yeah, we got to do that one.
Yeah, Myra Dolph and Luke Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah. As well as the president is Terry Crews.
Terry Crews.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Which I love that guy, especially when he does when he's in White Girls and he's like dancing in the car. That is absolutely hilarious. That scene cracks me every single time. I can't help it, dude. He's
Terry Crews can be extremely funny. Yep. What? Yeah, Terry Crews can be extremely funny. I love watching him.
Can be. He is.
He is.
He's actually a pretty solid actor too. He does a bunch of stuff, but yeah, I like the idea of the whole quote thing only because again, I'm curious as to what it is between you and I that because you'll watch it, I'll watch it separately. And yet there's still multiple movies that'll have those quotes where we just know them and it's just like it's a part of us. So whether we're together and we put them together or we're separate and we still pick the same thing.
But there's a lot of, like I know in just reviewing some of them in my head, there's a lot of quotes that I don't remember verbatim that I know were funny and very quotable, but they're not necessarily ones that we've hung on to. But it would be interesting, just like you said, just to try it once or twice or 4 or 5 times and see, you know, what you end up with at the end. Like you said, when you cut it all down to size, like the 15, 20, however many minutes it is, that it's just back to back to back, like ridiculous memories, one-liners, everything throughout the movie that, yeah, that would be really weird.
It would be really dope. That would be like the dopest of the dope. Yeah, I would love that.
It'd be like, I don't really have time to watch the movie, but I just want to get the gist.
Yeah,
and
can I get the I'm telling you copy?
Could be a thing. Is that the ITY?
I believe, dude, that's
the ITY version.
Well, and there's
it'd be like what was it, Diz with her short stories?
Oh, see, and my mind went to
was it You Can't Do That to Television? Remember Cut It Out?
No, that's not. No, that was Full House.
Oh no, not. What did I say? You Can't Do That on Television? No.
Yeah.
It would. Yeah, that was it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Cut It Out was.
No, that was a crossover from the same guy that you're saying. What, Full House?
Maybe, I don't know, but I don't think on that. I don't know. Whatever.
What were you saying? Go on.
I don't know. You freaking button hugged me again.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yay! We're not here to celebrate it.
Earmuffs.
Yeah, and but yeah, no. So that's I want to actually see what that would be as an output. Like I think that would be just enjoyable to watch.
Oh, to watch as a movie.
Yeah, to actually have like the I'm telling you version. Because that's where I was going with it. So my mind,
I'm sure somebody out there's got to have at least a couple of these movies done up like this already. Where
maybe
I mean,
I'll research it. Right.
There's so much stuff on the internet, you know.
But so going back to what I was saying is there is a movie with Mos Def and Jack Black called Be Kind and Rewind.
Yeah.
Where they actually have to make a new version. Yes. And so like Ghostbusters, I think was like the first one or whatever. And I forget
it became a thing in itself.
Well, yeah, because they made multiple. So there was like RoboCop, and I think like Crocodile Dundee, or I don't know. There's just like all of these, tons and tons.
But it was like a couple quotable moments, and it was like some quick action scenes, and that was it. Like
pretty much. So
everybody ate it up. They were like, "Oh man, I want to see the next one."
Yeah, because instead of it being almost 2 hours of Ghostbusters, it's like 22 minutes.
You know, people would come up and they'd request certain movies, and they knew it wasn't the actual movie. They just wanted to see what they would do with, you know.
Yeah, they wanted to see their version.
Yeah.
That's what. So yeah, that's where my mind goes on that kind of thing. Where it's like, yeah, we
Make
should
it into a thing itself, right?
Yeah, I like this. We should. Yeah, we gotta go with this.
But I just like the idea of the rating system. I mean, instead of, you know, giving it a 2 thumbs up or, you know, whatever the fancy, or if you want to give it stars or something like that, but you just a straight up number.
Can I give it like a high infinity?
Like, man, did you see that new movie? Yeah, it was all right, man. It was like a 12.
It was like a 12. I
Like,
don't know.
oh man, it was a 12? Well, I mean, were there some, you know, good love scenes or something? No, man. It was just a straight up 12.
But here's the thing, though. So it might only be 12 minutes, but maybe it was a short movie, right? Maybe it was only like a 37-minute movie, and 12 minutes of it was quotable.
So maybe it should be a percentage thing? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I love how we're working this out
Well,
right now.
it could be both. Maybe it could be, you know, post both numbers. Just, you know.
This is great. This
It's
is
a 12, but it was a 3-hour movie, so it's really kind of shit. Or it was 12, but it was like, you know, like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good, you know.
Yeah, maybe we should do it on a percentage rating.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I love how we're working this out right now. Like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, because then it's apples to apples across the board, right?
I'm just talking about like right here now on the air. Like that's
the fact that we're working this out. Yeah. Well, I mean,
people are listening to us having like our spitball
this
session.
whole idea we have about our rating system for movies, it has to be quotable. It has to be. Why? Do stop. It has to be quotable. Yeah.
Yeah, and because great movies like The Princess Bride. Like how many good movies? Like, dude, we quote the crap out of that one too. You know, like had fun storming the castle.
Yeah, and like I don't even think they just kind of come up in conversation a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, do they think it'll work? It would take a miracle, right?
Yeah, Billy Crystal's Miracle Max. Yeah, Humpadink. Don't say that name.
Never say that name. Humpadink.
Yeah, well, and there's also Never Ending Story. I guarantee you, there's some great ones in there too. But that's like a long movie that probably would be shrunk down to like 3 minutes because there's just not that much dialogue.
Yeah, I don't know that they would necessarily like. That's the thing. Like as a rating system, it would only work for certain types of movies. I think because maybe think of like a romance movie, you might have like long sweeping vistas and all this like a lot of it's just acted out without sound. Or just music. Like none of that's quotable. None of that's usable. You know, even action scenes in action movies. If there's a lot of action and not a whole lot of, that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just means it's low on the quotable scale, right?
That's why I like the idea of doing it like a percentage base. Probably. I don't know. Maybe there should be multiple sales or multiple scales or a sliding scale. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure this out. We really need to brainstorm more.
Sure.
Yeah, long story short, we need to watch more movies together is what I'm hearing.
Well, we definitely should hit up definitely should hit up one of the core movies, obviously like Breakfast Club, just to get an idea of what a great dialogue driven movie would create for us as far as amount of time. But I'm curious about that.
That's what, again, all I'm hearing is we have to have more bro dates and watch more movies together.
It's all about you. Yeah.
Us. No. That's about us.
It's about us. All right. No, I'm cool with that. Absolutely. But we got to do the stopwatch thing. I don't know how we're going to work this out. Or are we actually going to chop it down?
I mean, I think we're going to have to try a couple of things. See what works.
Start off with just a viewing.
Yeah. 220, 221, whatever it takes.
How many times in one episode can we do that?
73.
Is that right?
66.
You sure it's not 42?
No, it's 66.
66 times?
In the head.
Oh, 6 times? No. 6.
No, he doesn't say, oh no. He's just stuck on 6.
He's just stuck on 6. Yeah.
And then eventually he gets 66. They're like, wow, 66 times in the head. Yeah, he's got like the freaking skunk spot on his head.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, all right, great outdoors.
Great outdoors, awesome.
And that's the thing is, the raccoons, like, don't eat that. What is that? Hot dogs. Why don't I eat those? Because it's made out of lips and assholes. Like, dude, so many people know that. They were teaching you
something right there, just so you know.
Yeah, but I mean, so many people know that kind of stuff, You You can get into like Patrick Swayze with freaking Roadhouse. There's so many good lines in that too.
Wow, I haven't seen Roadhouse in a long time.
But that's and this
So you
is
could just keep adding to this list, I guess.
we're gonna have to rate all of these movies. Eventually, we have to watch them.
There's a lot of stuff. Wait, was Short Circuit?
I love me some Johnny Five. Input. Yeah,
I haven't seen that in a long time.
it's in the collection. I love that one, man. How can you not love Johnny Five?
I just said I love Johnny Five. I just haven't seen him in a while. Yo.
Like, what are you, like, friends? It's been a while since I've seen
I
him.
haven't, he hasn't called me. I didn't call him. We kind of drifted.
Maybe he doesn't have reception. Maybe his radar was jammed.
Could be. I don't know.
Got the raspberry.
He just doesn't like me anymore.
Well, I mean, you did make that really crappy robot joke where you're like, IMDELA. Just nobody likes that. But see, in this...
This is why it works, you see? Because we bust each other's chops and then...
Honestly, it is. I think you and I do a great job of being serious and sincere, but having that levity, having that groundedness. Because, I mean, while we totally take each other serious, we totally don't. Right?
Follow me on that, dude. Follow me. No, yes, I know.
But that's exactly what we do, though.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, so even when we're, knee deep in philosophical discussions, one of us is still cracking with the other one only because we just want to make sure that it's like, yeah, you can be serious, but let's have some joy.
Levity. Yeah.
If
Keep it light.
If you're not having fun, then why are you doing it?
I mean, there's no point to doing it.
Yeah, it goes for everything. If you ain't having fun, don't do it. I mean, I seriously.
Just a rule for life in general.
Your job, are you having fun? Is there a way to have fun? Then maybe you shouldn't be doing that job.
Well,
Right?
what if it's just the act of making money is your idea of fun?
Then do whatever it does to make money and you'll have fun. That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
So I think that's my greater point is you, regardless of what you're doing, there's always fun to be had. You just have to be able to look for it. So focus on having that.
Squeeze it out. Wherever it is, squeeze it out.
Well, focus on the positives. Don't focus on what it's not. Focus on what it is or what you want it to be.
What it is, man. What it is.
And what it is, it ain't. And what it ain't, it is.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I tried to deflect that really quick.
I tried to. That was not a deflection.
Pew. Well, no, it was just...
That was side projecting. At least you attempted to be off mic. I can appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. That's all I wanted.
Do you need an attaboy while we're at
I
it?
do. Can I just...
There you
There we
go.
go.
Good job,
Okay.
little buddy. Some good French there. That's Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
My kid would have gotten that one.
I'm sorry. I'm not your kid.
She would have laughed. Well, probably she would have chuckled.
You're not my father.
That's not what he says. That's not the actual line. This cracks me up. That's like one of the most misquotes. See, that's another thing. It's like misquotes.
Misquotes?
Yeah, people
Like play it again, Sam?
Well, yeah, where they say and it's like that's not the line.
So what's the line? Set me straight.
Darth Vader says, "Look deep in your heart, and you will know the truth," which is that he's his father, but he doesn't say that, and he goes, "No."
Oh, yeah, he makes that really ugly face.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I'll never be like you. It's
Yeah.
yeah. So he never actually says that. Oh, and by the way, Leia shot first. Yeah, I said it. Oh, I'm gonna get some antagonistic crap on that one. I don't care. But the true diehards, those of us who really know, we know. Leia shot first. Totally happened like that.
That's too funny.
It's the truth, though.
All right. Well, I'm not, hey, that's your thing, man. I'm good.
No, but that's all. That's an actual controversial component because there's a difference between the original cut, a second cut, and then now there's like the remakes or the recuts or whatever, and like added foot. I hate that crap. I want the originals.
I want the original.
Yeah.
Which,
It's
there was no such thing as A New Hope.
Yeah, no hope.
No, it was just Star Wars.
Yeah.
The original movie was just Star Wars.
Yeah, two
Any
words.
Of those
Star
people out there
Wars.
that think that A New Hope is a normal thing, that was a later creation. That was...
Yeah, that's not number 4. That's number 1. That is technically 4 in chronological. of layout of the story, not
Wars.
actual production.
Yeah, that's all it was. Star Wars.
It's Star Wars. That's why 2 words, 3 syllables. I don't know. It's like charades all of a sudden.
Star Wars. There's no A New Hope. No, that was a later creation. And can you
different than a bad creation? I'm sorry, I had to do that.
Another bad creation?
Yeah, we get at the playground. Yeah, that's where I saw this cutie. Yeah,
Aisha.
Aisha Tyler.
Ooh,
yeah, she's dope. I like her.
I do like her. She's funny. She cracks me up.
Yeah, did she really?
She was in Balls of Fury.
Was she? Oh my god,
she was in Balls of Fury. Yeah,
and so was George.
She was the one with the. She had like the blowgun. She was darting people from across the room, like killing them.
You know, I got to
because it was double elimination, like actual elimination. So when you lost the game, yeah. Yeah, and that was her character. She would sit there with that giant, look like a staff, and then she'd just pick it up and
blow dart.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Aisha, but not Aisha from the Playground. That was a whole different Aisha. I think. I don't know. That'd be really weird if it was the same one.
I mean, timeline wise, it might be feasible.
It could be possible. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know her age, but I.
What year was that? Another bad creation was.
Oh God, that was like late '80s. I want to say. Like 88, 89, maybe 90.
It wasn't 1989, was it?
Could have been.
1989, the number. Sound of the funky drummer. Music hitting you so hard, you know, it got soul. Brothers and sisters. No. All right, well. If you follow me on that, you're cool.
Wicca what?
Wicca what? I don't even know. Who put this here? How did I get here?
This is not my office.
This isn't my office.
You're damn right it's not your office. Yeah, man.
Man. One of Twin Powers. Sorry.
How much does a piece like this go for? It's like $170,000. Get the fuck out of here. No, it's serious. Yeah. So we had to go to the Surge thing right there. And this is the thing that I really, because we'll get to. I think because we do have that balance. I think because we do go back and forth from truly serious to truly nowhere near serious. That you could like, I don't know, what's opposite of serious?
Some of it's really serious and some of it's very not serious.
It's just straight up shenanigans, flim flam. You were like hoodwinking and button hooking, and
which leads me to believe.
Yeah. And the moments like that where we have like our inside stuff that
somebody got that, I'm sure. Somebody got that.
Yeah. And that, yeah, I don't know. That's, I look forward to having that letter one day where they're just like, all right, episode 12, section 4. Yeah, one day we were talking about before. I want to see our stats. Like, dude, how many times do I say, well, but.
It's a drinking game at this point.
Dude, we should totally be a drinking game.
Totally.
Every time we make Totally. Ding. And that's every time we do a movie quote or so you got to take a shot. I mean,
dude, you get wrecked.
You get 2 minutes in, you just be like,
well, it depends. It depends on the episode, I guess.
Well, yeah, because if sometimes we do it more in green room, just because we're
some weeks there'll probably be some people in the hospital. Depends on what you're drinking, I guess.
We cannot be held responsible for your actions outside of our statements.
Maybe like really weak Jello shots.
But dude, that sounds like a lot of work.
That is a lot of work.
I mean, Jello shots are fun, but for this kind of level,
but, people get together like watching X-Files. You never know. They did all kinds of weird stuff back. Do you remember that? People would actually gather together to watch X-Files.
Well, it's because you would actually have to wait for the new episode every week.
Does anybody remember that anymore?
Now you can just, frickin'.
Were you actually, if you missed the show, you missed the show.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, you had to hope that maybe it was like the rerun that they would play like.
It wasn't like I can log in and, no.
Yeah, that was just about the time we were.
If you missed Doogie Howser, that was it. If you didn't hit record before, no, that was it.
And see, that was so back in the day when they had VCRs. I remember when they came out with VCR Plus, where it knew the channel and the time. You could just type the code in from your TV guide, and it would record it for you.
Yeah, I want to get this slot, and it would. Yeah,
that was like the start to the TiVo, but on a DAT tape.
Did any of them actually skip over the commercials and just record the good stuff?
That I don't know. I just would, you know,
that
you could
would've been
fast
cool.
forward. Yeah, that's what I
Yes,
say.
you can always fast forward.
Yeah, that was the start of TiVo, which is pretty dope. But yeah, no,
You can always fast forward, or you can always rewind, like my brother used to do. It would drive me nuts. I was watching The Karate Kid. There was a scene where he's talking to his mom, and he just had him like pulling the broccoli out of his mouth, like over and over.
I think you and your brother should have some discussions with one another about boundaries.
Maybe we should just bring him on the show. I don't know.
I don't think I want to play with him.
Whoa, hey, okay. Look, I'm not even going to touch that.
That's what he said.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, dude, it works.
It works.
For that context, it totally works. That is how that works. But yeah, I
just got totally derailed. It's cool.
Oh, it's cool. No, we were talking about going from the movie quote system, and then we started talking about like watching the shows, and then we got into like how like DVRs were started and like doing watch parties and stuff because you actually had to, and instead now you can just like binge watch everything. So yeah, that's where we were at. I got us. We're good.
Yeah, everybody would meet up on the same night at a certain house. That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember that.
Watch parties.
Yeah, because there'd be like 8 or 9 of you, and there'd be like,
well, I can get it on demand. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
wow.
It was like a whole thing, though. It was like a whole like it had a cult following. Probably still does, I'm sure.
What's that? You mean the
like
specific
X-Files,
show?
specifically X-Files? Yeah. It was,
oh yeah. What, dude, there's probably like Law and Order. There's probably like NCIS. Like all them shows probably have it. Like the bad dude. I don't. Whatever. I mean, do they still make The Real World? I don't even know.
I vaguely remember like because I didn't really get into the X-Files, but I did go to a couple of those viewing parties, and it was funny because like I remember one of them. It was like everybody was like, and the room got so quiet you could hear a pin drop because it was the smoking man, the one FBI whatever double secret agent or whatever that was always contacting them on the sly, and it was a scene with him in it. It was like it got so quiet in the room, and I was like. I didn't follow the show, so I was like, I don't know why this is so important, but
because he's basically like the Oracle.
Yeah, he is. He like I found that out later that he was like he was integral in like them discovering a lot of different stuff.
Well, because he was playing both sides. Because technically he was there to help the aliens or whatever the alien lives to cross over and make things So
and didn't they referred to him as the smoking man or something?
Yeah, because he was always smoking.
Right. Yeah, he always had a cigarette.
Yeah, because he was dying, so he didn't care, and he was also under a lot of stress.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, dude. At that point, it's like I got how long? Give me the pack, bro. Hand him over. Just gonna rip into this. But like, what else you got? Let's go. But
to this day though, like I hear that music and I'm like my ears perk up. You know the music I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the eerie like. I don't know.
The intro music. You don't have to try it. That's all right.
I'm not a musician of sorts, at least not with my mouth. I'm not Biz Marquee. I do not make the music with my mouth. Actually, sometimes I do.
That would be pretty cool.
I could, maybe. I'll try for you, because I love you.
I guess if I practiced enough, just don't judge me.
I can't promise that. I have to be honest. There's at least a 10% chance that it might happen. I mean, those are good odds.
You're so judgy.
When I'm around you, I am. Bring it out of me.
Rat bastard.
Well, I mean, it's the way you look at me. You know what I mean? That's why I keep telling you. Maybe you should just turn around from now on. Just like, I want to see you.
Just come in, just put a bag on your head, and then we can talk just fine. It'll be cool.
I mean, that sounds a little indignant. I just want you to, turn around and face the other way.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I'm not really sure. Right in, because I'm not sure how I feel.
You like battered wife syndrome? Because you're the one that likes.
Do I need help? Is there?
Well, that's another discussion.
Should I be on a hotline?
I thought you were the hotline.
Am I the hotline? Call me.
You're the
Call me now.
Call me now. Miss Cleo. Yeah, no, that's not what's going on here.
None of that. I'm just gonna sip my soda.
Yeah, I appreciate the way we give and receive our knowledge exchangement. Like, I appreciate the fact that we can be this serious but have this much levity.
You got to.
Well, and I think going back to the earlier point with like Dr. E.T. about power of words and all that stuff. Because while we totally take what we do serious, we totally don't.
You can't.
And because we want to have that balance, we want to be able to express ourselves. Like we want to have that thought and the intelligence to express it and share it and have it validated. But at the same time, it's just a thought.
But I mean, where this all came from, it's just the two of us, just
The two youths.
the two youths, just playing with ideas,
Yeah.
just taking things to the extreme and just imagine what if this or what if that or,
Yeah, and then as we got older, we just started adding like movie quotes and like music quotes, and then dad jokes came out of it.
just ridiculous conversations just about anything. Like, how come we don't have hover cars anymore, yet?
Yeah,
What's up with that? Robert Zemeckis promised me a hover car. You know what I'm saying? This should have happened already.
Yeah, and a real hoverboard, not that thing with wheels.
Which, by the way, I just saw a DeLorean in a car show recently.
That's awesome.
And they actually put a flux capacitor in. You got to.
Yeah,
That's hilarious. I think I've actually seen that at a local show years ago. So I think it's been. I swear I've seen that one driving around.
There's somebody. I mean, there's probably a few people that make them. I've seen them, like eBay or what. I don't know, like different selling sites.
Make them?
Yeah, so you can like actually have them, and they just
Make a flux capacitor.
Well, yeah, the box with the the
making
fiber
a
optics.
DeLorean. I'm pretty sure that company went belly up a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure you could probably reproduce one. I'm sure there's probably someone somewhere that's like the DeLorean restorer.
At the same show, I saw a Model T. So cool, dude. So cool to look at those things and it's so weird. It's so alien to what we know
So
of.
weird.
Like, have you ever been around a Model T? You ever looked at a Model T up close?
I've worked on a few.
You've worked on a few.
Oh, yeah.
So like the weird thing with the pedals, because there's an odd number of pedals, correct? There's a very strange thing going on with the ignition and the timing and the pedals and the
One pedal
and the horn is like this. You just squeeze it like a bike horn.
there's a pedal for the starter.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a low drive, a high drive, a reverse.
Well, because what you have to remember is back in the day, we didn't have electrical, mechanical components. We only had mechanical components that we could electrify, but we would have to literally articulate them.
Right.
So we had to back in the day, your choke wasn't automatic. You had to pull the frickin' cable.
Right.
There was a choke cable on your dash. You'd have to pull that sucker open so you could start your car.
Right.
Yeah, so of course.
You don't know nothing about that anymore.
You don't know nothing about
You don't know nothing.
No one near nada.
You don't know nada.
Yeah, that's
But it's cool to see that stuff like that is still around. I guess that that was really cool to see that at the auto show. But I was trying to get my girls into it, and even at one point I called him over to the DeLorean, which was just right around the corner from that. But I called him over to the DeLorean, and they're like, okay. I'm like, you haven't seen the movie. You've never seen the movie. You don't. It's so cool.
You got no respect.
And not just that, but like DeLorean. I mean, nobody ever made a car like that before or since then.
Pretty much.
I mean, I'm trying to think of something else throughout, like historically, that was that different, like the Etzel, that was that different from everything else of its time.
Yeah.
And maybe a little too advanced in a way, but it was made entirely out of steel, right? And it was never painted. Not the Etzel, but the DeLorean.
Aluminum?
Was it aluminum?
Yeah. I believe it was aluminum body.
But just so the whole surface of the car is brushed aluminum. It's not.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I mean, I think there might be a coat, like a clear coat on it or something, but
quite heavy as a car.
No, it's aluminum's pretty light.
It was thick aluminum, though. We're not talking.
No, the body was just thin sheets. I don't know about the entire vehicle itself, but just the skin.
Yeah, I was trying to explain to them. I was like, this car has no paint on it. They're like, oh, I don't care. I'm like, I think that's pretty cool, man. The entire car has no paint on it.
You should have told them there was a princess involved.
You gotta put the princess in there somewhere.
That's how you get the girls. I'm just saying.
That's the trick.
I'm telling you. Get the girls. You're just like, oh, this is a princess. Princess? I don't know why. It works. It just does.
It works.
It's not always going to work because nothing is foolproof, but there's a high probability.
You still got called out though on that one.
Oh, dude, I totally button hooked her.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, I don't care.
You totally got called it. Yes, there are two princesses in that, but Dad, this is totally Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Totally kung fu.
Yeah. She watched it too. She did enjoy it. She's like, yeah, it was nice. It was
I feel like
good.
she has to follow things through.
She's like, I'm not going to watch it again. I was like, that's cool. Thanks for watching though.
But she followed through.
Yeah.
She watched the whole thing.
Well, and that's it. So she likes the Karate Kid movies. So you know what I mean? Like, so it's not that she doesn't like any kung fu. She's just not like kung fu and monsters. I don't know.
What was karate? I mean, I guess Karate Kid. Well, no, I wouldn't really consider that.
Correct. Even though it's a movie that's all about karate.
It's not a kung fu movie. No. Yeah, it's.
I know, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, because I would never consider that, because it doesn't really have. I mean,
Dude, it's almost like the Big Lebowski, where
there's
it's
scenes
like,
in it where there's fights, but it's not like there's fight scenes.
well, it's like Big Lebowski, where it's like a movie about bowling, even though it's not.
Right, we were just saying that. I was like, because I just recently watched that one too, and it was like, I was thinking from the first time I'd seen it that it was really more about bowling, but that was more like a background thing.
Yeah, it was just the central idea.
It was just a place to put them so they'd all get together. Oh,
yeah. Well, yeah, I know. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I gave him the signal.
Oh,
Yeah, I
is it
I
that
didn't.
time?
I didn't.
He's over here waving at me. I didn't know.
We were communicating.
Is there something in my eye?
Communicating?
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
giving,
it was-
giving the bird.
You know, the finger?
You the finger? Yes, I know the finger goose.
I hate when it does that.
But yeah, no, it's time to wrap this up. It's always a pleasure having you all, come along this journey. We appreciate you. Please continue the conversation. I'm telling you at directionsmusic.org. I am TELLINYOU at directionsmusic.org.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh what? No, it's okay.
No. Yeah, keep the conversation going, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah.
What's left is
Well, no, because I think that at this point, it's be good to yourself, be good to everyone else. Yeah, we love you, fam. We appreciate you. We thank you, and communicate. Come back to see another episode of I'm Telling You with Philly D and
Mr. Gemini.
Yeah. So we'll I guess I don't know, maybe next time.
Definitely next time.
Definitely on Wednesday.
Definitely next time.
Someday, any day, whatever day we want it to be. When will then be now?
Right now.
Soon.
So,
oh, jeez. But yeah, no. Come back and see us another time. We'll catch up with you again, fam. Peace.
Peace.